Have Taylormade pulled off a masterstroke when it comes to this golf club? Is this the most innovative golf club out there? What are we talking about? It's the Stealth 2 Plus Fairway wood. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Lee Whitaker. Today I am testing the Stealth 2 Fairway wood. This is a 3 wood. Now the big talking point about this golf club is this movable weight. So I'm going to test if it does everything. This movable weight goes all the way back for a higher ball flight, all the way forward for a lower, less spinny, more distance ball flight. So I'm going to test it in high and I'm going to test it in low and see if this is just a gimmick or if this is quite possibly the most innovative fairway wood I've ever seen. I'm going to hit some balls in the studio and get those numbers for you while I send you out to Whitsunday to myself while we put this in a gaming situation. Okay, so I've come out on course with the Stealth 2 Plus 3 wood and I've got this set in neutral mode. You can put this higher for a bit of a high ball flight and lower, as will be explained in the studio, but I found in lower it's just completely uncontrollable. So I've got this set in neutral to give myself the best chance of being able to use it. Now, Taylormade 3 woods for me have always been a bomber's paradise. It's for those people who want that extra bit of distance, and Taylormade have always given that. But I'm the sort of person who wants a 3 wood for that bit of control as well. Like for me, this is an off the tee club. I would very rarely use it into a par 5, but you know, if the choice is there, I may just use it. But I've always found with Taylormade clubs, there's just been that little bit of lack of control for me personally anyway. So I'm on our 4th hole here. Now this is 280 yard, par 4 uphill. And normally it would be a driver if you're going to go for the green, but if you're just going to play for position, which is the sensible play, then certainly a 3 wood or a long iron is going to be used. So I'm going to hit the 3 wood off here. I'll hit a couple and see what happens. First thing I'll say is down at the ball, this thing looks amazing. Like this is definitely one of the best looking 3 woods I've seen. The way that the sort of gloss goes into this painted bit and then this weight at the back that you'll see on the screen now, it just looks absolutely fantastic. For those that are interested, the shaft I'm using is the Mitsubishi, I can't even pronounce it, Kaili, K-A-I-L-I, 75 gram stiff. So it's up there with the weight of what I would use in my ping, except I use this X stiff, but there's not going to be a great deal of difference between the two when it comes to actual feel, I suppose. Right. I would always expect to be in play here, always expect to be in play. I've got so much real estate to land onto. If it's a left to right wind, it does phase me slightly because right is rubbish, but I would always expect to be in play. Unless you fat it. Like I have hit, there's the tee, I have literally fatted that. That is not a fair reflection of this golf club. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so a nice high ball flight. That's gone up there a little bit. I think that's done pretty well actually. I'm going to hit one more. Don't feel like I've quite middled it yet. A little bit heavy on that. Certainly better than the first one, but God, swing is not working today. That's the one we want. That is beautiful. Nice and straight. Middle of the fairway. Only took 3 attempts. First one was complete and utter duff. Second one came out all right, just slightly heavy. But that last one was felt and sounded superb and just went up in the air and just kept going. Really good ball flight. Really good distance and felt amazing. So I don't feel like I've given this a fair shot yet. So I've come up onto our 7th, which is another one where I'd actually take driver, to be perfectly honest, on here pretty much 99% of the time. But it's a good one to hit 3 wood because, you know, position is key on this hole. It is the hardest hole on the course purely by distance. It's a 400 yard par 4. Oh, yeah, I love that. Love it. Great ball flight. Oh, it's really good distance as well. So that's up where the bank is. Now with driver, I'd probably be 20 or 30 past that, but distance wise for a 3 wood, that's exactly where I'd kind of expect it to be, and really, really impressed with that. As with all things Taylormade, twist face. You get the twist face on this, and what that's designed to do is if you slightly toe it or heel it, it's kind of designed to take away a little bit of that gear effect that you would get and straighten the ball flight. Have I found it with twist face in the past, I find it really hard to quantify, to be honest. I've hit some toey dippers and some snap hooks out of them and some slices, so it's really difficult to sort of justify it. I think you've got to be a top level player to get the most out of where that would be. You've got to square the face up literally every time. So the technology must work because you've had it in since like Sim, is it? Or even maybe even the M6, I'm not 100% sure. So you do get the twist face and you get the speed pocket as well. And what that's designed to do is if you slightly catch it low in the face, it's designed to still get you the ball speed you would get and hopefully just sort of reduce that spin a little bit. But you always find when you hit it low, it does spin up slightly more. And of course, with the Plus, you get the adjustability, so you can put it higher and lower in loft as well. And obviously this moving weight at the back or underneath, that just allows you to sort of move that CG so you can have a higher or lower ball flight. But I will warn you, when you push it forward and have that weight right next to the face, it does become a little bit uncontrollable. Right, let's hit one more off here with this. I'm sorry, but that just down at the ball, it just looks superb. Like, I don't think I've seen a better looking 3-wood down at the ball. You know, I love the Ping because of its matte finish, but this with its difference in gloss and just those little accents, it's definitely pleasing to look at down at the ball. Right, come on, let's replicate that. So I caught that one in the toe, so it's just gone out to the right. Has it done it much for distance? Yeah, so there's a big drop off there. When I say just in the toe, I mean really in the toe. So it did pop up a little bit higher, as you were seeing on the shot tracer, and did go straight right, but it's not gone too bad in distance. So it'll be interesting to see where the drop off is. I'm reckoning about 10-15 yards. So as we come up here, this is the one I hit out the toe, and then you'll see a little bit further up there is the one that I hit out the middle. Now reality is that's probably about a 10-yard difference when you think the coal's going that way, which actually isn't too bad considering it came out the toe. What I did notice though, or didn't notice, is the gear effect. Now normally if you would hit it out the toe, you would get the gear effect that would sort of take the ball with right to left spin, and that stayed perfectly straight on that right hand side of the course. So there was no gear effect, it just sort of went straight right. So is that twist face? Okay, had I doffed my tee shot, I would have ended up here, which is probably about 250-ish, maybe a bit more, yards into this green. Now, I would probably, if I was in competition, not be hitting this shot. And I certainly won't be hitting it with this because I don't have the confidence to hit it. Now, where the Ping sits nice and flat on the surface and just gives me that confidence that I'm going to get to the ball, this has quite a deep face, or what appears to be a deep face, and that when I'm hitting off the fairway, just it gives me top feelings. That's what it gives me. It gives me like topping feelings because this rounded bottom. So when you kind of look at it behind the ball, just doesn't feel like it sits very flat. Now that's just a perception of mine, and there's a reason that I really like that sort of Ping look when it comes to fairway woods. But each to their own when it comes to this kind of look. Right, so I'm going to now have an approach into this green. I'll be honest, I probably don't expect to see these golf balls again. Let's think about this. Let's give this a fair shot at this green. If this was a 5-wood or my 3-wood, I would have no problems with this. So how are we feeling with this? OMG, OMG, that's come out like a rocket. That is at the front of the green. I have middled that, absolutely middled it. Wow, don't know what to say, literally don't know what to say. I certainly feel like having this weight in, certainly in that sort of centre and maybe a little bit higher, does make it a little bit more forgiving. But if I was going to have it in that setting, would I be better off with just the normal stealth? Is this designed purely for those people who are just going to shove it up the front and hit those bombs? Who knows? Right, in fact, let's do that. So in this current setting, I would have no problem in hitting that shot again, but I have put the weight all the way forward. And although at address, this looks exactly the same, this club now feels different. It now feels heavy because all that weight is at the front. Just feels like it's a heavier golf club. And now I don't expect to see this golf ball again. If I do, and I catch it, how much longer is it going to be than that other one? Oh, so that's slightly leaking to the right, but I got it okay. I feel like I want to do that again. See if I can get a proper strike on it. It does feel harder to hit, I'll be honest with you, because of that weight at the bottom. And I just feel like I am going to lose it to the right. So I'm going to try and really feel like I'm going to draw this one. Oh my God, that's a rocket. This is a long 3-wood. Let me just see if I can ping that. So that flag is 260 yards away. And I think that second ball is probably 5 yards short of it. If ever there was a visual representation of how weight can change things, this is it. So I am by my first ball, and this is the one I hit in like sort of neutral settings, let's call it. One that I would be happy with, and this has gone 230 yards, which is not too bad. It's where I would kind of expect a normal, not gone after 3-wood to go. Let's go to the one where I lowered where I pushed all the weight forward. Now you may notice I'm on the green, and that is the ball there, and that is the flag there. There is 8 yards to that flag, which meant I hit that 252 yards. That's on a hill and it's rolled back slightly, so it probably went about 255 yards. Now the last time I hit a 3-wood 255 yards was in Saudi Arabia. I gave that everything. Leg came up, everything. That was a smooth strike, a smooth swing, didn't feel like I was going after it. I'm shocked, like really shocked at how far that has gone. I've not hit a 3-wood that far for a long time, and then the ping is not getting there. The ping is where that first one is at best, because it's a little bit high spinning and more controllable. So if you want a 3-wood that's just a bomb machine, the Taylormade Stealth 2 is the one for you. Let's head back to the studio and look at the data of what this club was giving me. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. And the first thing I'm going to say is when you put that club into low setting, it feels heavier, it's hard to hit. So the top one here is all the way back. The bottom one here is all the way in the forward, so low spin, low launch. Ball speed average 146.2. with a pretty decent standard deviation, apart from that first one, which I didn't quite catch. It was pretty easy to hit, to be honest. It was all right. Launch angle 14, which is what I would expect. Spin coming out at 3,000, which is superb for a 3-wood, exactly where I'd want it to be. Peaking out at 36, pretty high for a 3-wood, an average carry of 239, so pretty decent numbers. Now, in low setting, ball speed a little bit higher, but we've got this one, and I'm going to show you this one first, because this was a low launch, stupidly low spin, like 926 spin. Got no height, went nowhere. It was a low spinning dipper, and that's what's in with that low setting. So I'm going to take that out. So I've taken that one out for the purpose of this, because it was just a rubbish shot, but I just wanted to show you what's in that super low setting. So now ball speed 145.7. It's because it's harder to hit. It's a different club. It's a completely different golf club. Launching a little bit lower as expected, but not really much in it. But this spin difference is pretty significant, and that's what you're going to get in that low setting. And because of that, peak height is lower, but you are getting a few more yards distance. But what I will say is the technology works, but for me, I can't hit it well enough in that low spin, weight push forward setting to see a difference where those extra yards are not worth it when you look at the difference of how easier it is to hit with the weight at the back compared to that weight forward. It's hard. It's a different club. It feels heavier. You've got no forgiveness whatsoever in that setting. The weight is right up against the face. It's just a difficult club to hit. But if you're a ball striker, if you're a decent elite player, you are going to get some absolute bombs out of that, because it is pretty quick off the face. But for the average golfer or the average person, you would either have the weight all the way back, or you would completely bypass the plus and maybe go on to the Stealth 2 normal. Normally at this stage I'd be heading back to the studio, we'd be giving you my final conclusion on this club, and then we'd sort of end the video. But I want to see how this produces off the tee in insanity mode. Low spin, bomb balls on a par 5. Oh my God. That is high and long. Don't get me wrong, it feels heavy. It feels unforgiving, because it is heavy and it is unforgiving when the weight's pushed forward. But my God, does the ball go. So basically, could I use it? Yeah, I think I could. And I'm also really impressed with how it works in the low spin mode with the weight going forward, because in the studio I hated it, absolutely hated it. But out here I can visualize the benefits of it. Now, if I was playing into wind and I was on a windy day, I could put that forward and certainly sort of keep the ball low, get the low spin out of it. And then on any normal day, I could put the ball back, or, you know, there's got that versatility. So that's what I like about this, is you can set it up for any given day. I don't think it's one that I could put in the bag, purely because I just don't feel it's forgiving enough for me. But if you're a good player, a good ball striker, like, you are going to see the benefits of this golf club without any shadow of a doubt. Let's head back to the studio and give you my final conclusion. So final thoughts then. Out on the course, you know what, I enjoyed playing with this. I think it looks superb down at the ball. That little Stealth accent, the little shiny gloss bit compared to the framing of the actual like matte bit at the front. I love the way that this looks. I love the way it sits behind the ball. But for me, it's just a difficult golf club to get used to, especially with that weight push forward. Weight back, it's okay, but I just think if you're going to put the weight back and you need that forgiveness, you would maybe look at an alternative to it. So is it a gimmick? No, it works. I've seen it work in the numbers. It's definitely going to come out launching lower, spinning lower, and getting you more distance. But I just think it's there for the elite player. It's not there for your everyday average golfer. It's there for someone who's low or plus handicap, elite tour pro. Someone like that is going to play this golf club. Your average golfer should steer well clear of this. All in all, very innovative, very useful for the person who's going to want to use it, but for every day, not for me. But I'd like to know what you think. Have you bought this? Are you regretting buying it? Do you think it's the best thing since sliced bread? I would love to know what you think down in the comments. Also, if you've liked this review, please do give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you're not yet subscribed, which a lot of you aren't, please just click that subscribe button. It's completely free to do, and it means the world to me and helps this channel grow and helps YouTube recognize this channel, which will in turn again help it grow. As always, plenty more to come, and I'll see you all on the next video.